Before we get into today's story, Truth Report has launched a Back a Buddy initiative called Hold the Line for Walrus. This is our 1 million rand drive to support the three sons of Warwick stock, launched with the full support and consent of the stock family as the official fundraiser. A trust is being set up for Walrus's children through Honeycomb attorneys who have volunteered their services. If you're able to donate, thank you. If you can't, that's okay too. Sharing the campaign helps a lot. The link is in the description, or you can screenshot this QR code. Thanks for your support. Let's hold the line together. Now let's get back to today's story.
Well, I mean, it's been 5 years, going on 6 years since Ramaphosa made this beautiful promise. He did it at the State of the Nation address in 2020. And he envisioned, like, what was it? A smart city for 350,000 to 500,000 people. Yeah, what we have now at the moment is exactly what the ANC promises, which is just destruction, lack of service delivery, can't implement things adequately. It's like if the ANC had a dictionary and you open the dictionary on maintenance, the word would not exist in that dictionary. Service delivery would also be a weirdly worded description of what that entails. But yeah, I mean, once again, Sir Ramaphosa every single year sells pipe dreams. And then not to only put this on Sir Ramaphosa, this is what the ANC has consistently been doing, I would say, for at least the last 25 years. Under Nelson Mandela, there was optimism. He was more of a statesman than a president. He was the brand. He was the ANC's brand for the rest of the world, for them to invest in South Africa. And then Thabo Mbeki did a relatively decent job. I mean, there was, I think, a 4% economic growth, between 4 to 6% economic growth under Thabo Mbeki. But since then, you know, there's not even developments taking place. You can see how well a country is doing based on how many cranes they've got. You know, that is building in different metros and in different provinces. I'm pretty sure that if you had to go across South Africa and look at how many cranes there are across this country, I think that you can, you know, it's in the double digits if we are that lucky. So that speaks to what the ANC promises. What the ANC promises, and also what Sir Ramaphosa is promising. It's just empty promises year after year. And the longer people fall for this, the longer South Africa is going to be in this limbo state of not really progressing and not really going so far back that we are turning into a Zimbabwe.
For sure. Gavin Comer, another loyal Truth Report follower, says, wait, have I lost the comment? Oh, man, this guy is commenting like a machine gun. Ah, there it is. There it is. He says, they cannot even give us electricity, never mind a smart city. Dumb people, Ramaluta. Let's get out of the way now. He must sugala. He will not see the rest of his 5-year term at Truth Report News official. You know what, Gavin? We couldn't agree with you more. Ramaluta does have to leave. He does. I mean, everybody wants him to leave, but then the problem is this. We want him to leave, but then when it's actually time to vote, the votes go out to the ANC. I mean, Ernst, every time the elections happen, all the votes go to the ANC. We keep listening to the sweet nothings, and then the cycle repeats, and then every forum are villains again. What's your take on the smart city that was promised to us? Hey, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm genuinely wrong. Maybe this time Ramaphosa was actually going to do something about it. What do you think?
Now, I'm glad that RENALDO brings up the fact that every year we hear the predictions and the promises of smart cities. And I saw a commenter saying the bullet trains, don't forget the bullet trains as well. My challenge to the South African government and to the ANC specifically is let's have normal cities first. Let's turn our cities into normal cities, and then we can talk about smart cities. Let's turn Johannesburg back into a normal city. Let's turn Pretoria back into a normal city. Let's turn a city like Cape Town into a normal city. All of our cities in South Africa have serious problems to varying degrees, but let's focus on those problems that they're currently facing rather than trying to build these new quote-unquote smart cities. Something that I really think also needs to be mentioned is the fact that when it comes to all these promises of bullet trains, smart cities, whatever, all these buzzwords, it's almost like that it reminds me of that person who thinks that when he sees successful people or rich people, he sees them wearing nice clothes and he thinks, if I wear a nice suit, I will be successful and rich as well. And I think the ANC are looking at other countries in the world, successful, rich countries, saying, oh, but they have smart cities. If we build smart cities and bullet trains like they have, we will become a successful country as well. And that's putting the cart before the horse. You don't become a successful, rich country by building bullet trains and smart cities. When you are a successful, rich country, you can have the resources to build bullet trains and smart cities. They are a product of success. They are not the thing that's going to make you successful. So I think when it comes to South Africa, let's get normality down first. Let's get our cities normal first before we start talking about new smart cities.
Just on top of that, can I just make...
Yeah, sure.
Sorry, Tama. Also added to that, I'm not sure if you guys have noticed it, and speaking to what Aaron said here, the way that in Nelson Mandela Bay, that the electrical department has started dealing with vandalism of, copper theft, is they have started, instead of putting the cables underground, they are now swinging it from one light or street light to another, which is a very Indian, like if you've ever been to India and if you've ever been to other third world countries, this is their way of ensuring that copper isn't being, I'm not sure how it is in Tshwane or how it is in Johannesburg and if that's the same, but that is taking us a step backwards. That's not moving forward. So it's just building on what Adams van Zyl said.
We're moving backwards. We're moving backwards. We're going downhill. It's the avalanche effect. We had the 1980s Cold War mindset, and now we're actually applying it. Step 40 says communists are what communists do. Very right there. And we got a super chat after that by Pete Swagger with the 35 Rand super chat saying, thanks, fellas. This sure beats watching infomercials and funeral insurance adverts in the middle of the day. Keep up the solid work. Keep it crispy. You're damn sure we will, buddy. Thanks, Pete Swagger, for being another loyal follower. Another super chat sending love from Dubai. ANC needs to food tech. We want to come home. Yes, you do. Carl, we love you too, bud. Thanks, everybody, for supporting this channel. We are here to change the narrative. Pete Swagger said something very important. It sure beats watching infomercials and funeral insurance adverts. Well, KUHLE, I'm sure we both agree on one thing. Ramaphosa is sure good at making his sweet nothing sound more important and more interesting than the funeral insurance adverts, isn't he?
Well, listen, I mean, if you have been a sucker, like some of us that spend time listening through those drawling speeches that Ramaphosa makes, you have to understand something. The man is like, he's got so much vision, but he's so short on the action. This reminds me of a parable in the Bible where Jesus asked his disciples that a father's got two sons, and he tells the one that, go and do the garden, or tells both of them, go and do the garden. The other one says, yes, I will do it, and says it happily. And then the other one says, no, and is angry. But the one that says no ends up doing it. And Jesus says, who is better between the two? Now, this is Ramaphosa. Ramaphosa is a full-on talker. He is a master at talking. If there was a PhD at talking, Ramaphosa would probably even excel beyond the dean of that department. I was in Ekurhuleni last week. And speaking of Ekurhuleni, because you'll remember this is where some of these smart plans are made, Ramaphosa also spoke of building a varsity in Ekurhuleni. When was that? Probably 7 years ago. I don't think they've even identified the sites for the varsity.
You still remember that? That's crazy. You still remember that? I forgot about that, bruv.
I still do, luckily. I'm shocked I still remember. I got to Ekurhuleni, and most of the time we podcasters speak in hyperboles, but it's not a joke. The roads are filled with potholes. You can't drive for longer than 10 meters without seeing a pothole. Every car is like swerves, everyone is swerving away from the potholes. Everyone is doing it. It's ridiculous. The only place where there are no potholes is on the highway. the lights don't work. Do you know that in Ekurhuleni, they've even started removing robots because people were stealing the robots and cutting off the robots? So they started removing robots and what do you call it? After removing robots, now it's just a four-way stop. This is ridiculous, guys.
Same in
And you
Nelson
look
Mandela
at
Bay.